ちは。私のチャンネルへようこそ。今日のトピックは日本語。私は日本語は上手じゃないと、今日のトピックは日本語でも英語を話します。すみません。In today's video, I would like to talk about the Japanese language, and I'm going to talk about what I like about Japanese. So I'm learning, I'm studying, and I've lived here long enough to have picked up some vocabulary, but my sentences or explanations aren't very smooth. So today I'm going to speak English. Before I begin to talk about how I see Japanese and what it means, what it symbolizes to me, I would like to talk about my own personal reasons as to why I don't speak Japanese. So 6 years ago, before I came to Japan, when I made the decision to move here, I did a beginner's course, and this was literally how to say like America or like konnichiwa. I knew nothing at that time, and so I did this intensive course in London, and I still remember my teacher, like she was so positive and helpful, and I loved learning in this really structured way. I learned how to write in hiragana, and I also learned some basic vocabulary like bag or shoe or Australia, like basic vocabulary, which just gave me a little bit of confidence. Then I came to Japan, and so much happens. Like for anyone who has moved countries, you will understand quite how much is going on when you first move to a country. You know, getting a job, doing all the paperwork, moving house, making friends, just surviving, you know. And during this time, I guess Japanese study wasn't really on my agenda so much. I was just trying to survive and get a job and make things as smooth as I possibly could in this completely new life. I got my teaching job and also did some modeling work. And both of these situations, I found that I didn't really need to learn Japanese in this urgent kind of way. My teaching job actually strongly encouraged me to speak only in English, to the point that if we were heard encouraging our student to speak Japanese or even speaking Japanese ourselves, we would actually be punished, or at least would be told off. So it was kind of drilled into me from a very early stage that I, as a professional English teacher, I do not speak Japanese to my students. From this point onwards, it just so happened that I made friends with people who spoke English. Some of my students who I made friends with had a really good level of English. My friends who I met, many of them were English teachers themselves. Obviously, we spoke English, and it was very comfortable and easy for me. So going forward then, I guess I just lived in my own little sort of bubble where I could function very easily in my life with relationships, with work, you know, with my own personal hobbies and so on, just using English. And I think too that people really enjoyed practicing English with me, so there was never really an opportunity so much to speak in Japanese. I would say that one of the biggest influences for me to speak Japanese has been this YouTube channel. I want to say thank you for the people who are very, very supportive in me speaking English and trying to speak Japanese. My accent is not good and my vocabulary isn't great, but I am really, really trying. And for anyone who has learnt a language, you know how embarrassing it can be, you know, to talk and say things that sound completely silly. So yeah, I'm trying my best, and I'm not good, but I've decided that I'm just gonna be bad for a year. Everyone, native or non-native, everyone who starts learning a language is not good at the start. That's why we're learning, right? That's why we want to improve. So I guess I've just decided to embrace making a fool of myself on YouTube, like putting myself online, speaking not good Japanese, but just trying my best. So I want to say thank you so much to everyone who is patient with my learning and supportive with my Japanese. I really appreciate that. So yeah, I guess like doing YouTube and connecting with Japanese viewers has been such a huge motivation for me to learn Japanese. You know, it's a fantastic way for me to always be able to practice Japanese or speak Japanese. I love life here in Japan and I do intend to stick around, and as such, you know, I feel like learning the language is a way of really embracing the culture and showing respect to the country in which I live. So now I would like to go on and talk about the Japanese language, how I feel about it and what it represents to me. So one thing that I really do love about Japanese language is how it seems to have words for concepts that we don't have words for in my language. I feel that the words that have formed in Japanese are direct reflections of the mentality of the people using these words. And I'm just going to start with my favorite word, which we do not have a direct equivalent to in English, and this word is komorebi. This for me is just one of the most beautiful words, not just the sound of it, but what it means. I love the fact that I've come into a culture where I can't even speak the language, but there is an understanding of komorebi, of the beauty and almost like magic of this sight. You know, when the light is shining through the leaves, it just gives me this sensation inside. And it was like such a relief to come to a country where perhaps like I've never been here before, I don't really understand the way of things, but there's a mutual understanding, a way of thinking, that connection to nature, and I don't know, it's so beautiful. That's kind of one of the reasons I did come to Japan, is that I feel there are so many tiny, subtle ways that resonate with me beyond a logical way. I don't necessarily think that Japanese is a difficult language. I really admire people who, excuse my rabbit. Yeah, I really admire people who learn English because it, you know, the grammar is so complicated. People ask me, you know, why is it this way? And I'm honestly like, I really don't know. Like, it just is a complicated language. And in comparison, I would say that Japanese isn't as complicated. You know, there's lots of feeling in simple words. I feel like Japanese people make less noise just for the sake of making noise, whereas particularly British people, like, we like to complain, we don't like silence, we like to just sort of talk, even if it doesn't have much substance. So yeah, I feel like in Japan, a very short sentence has a lot of meaning, or one word can convey a sentence in English. Japanese isn't like made to be very complicated. Like in English, there's so many words for basically the same thing. I feel like Japanese is a very pure language. Instead of making it very complicated, it's actually very simple and clear to understand. Personally, I think as well, when I do try and speak Japanese, I feel a different persona. It's a weird thing to say, but I think a lot of my students actually feel the same when they speak English to me, and they say, you know, when I speak English, I feel a different identity. I feel that I can express things that I don't really express, like when I speak Japanese or in my sort of Japanese mind. So yeah, it's a very interesting thing, and I would say, like, I feel the same when speaking in Japanese. I feel much more gentle. I feel maybe a little bit more elegant, in the sense that I'm not saying so many words just to talk. I'm more quiet, I'm more calm and concise with the things that I'm conveying. I hope that makes sense, and I'm really interested to hear if you've learned any other languages. What's your feeling? Do you feel that you have a different persona when you speak Japanese versus when you speak the language that you're learning? I'm really interested. Please do leave a comment in the comment box below. Another thing that I would love to know is your favorite word, either in Japanese or in English. Just for the final point, my favorite Japanese word, as I've said, is komorebi, but also my favorite word in English is actually pearl, which I think is shinju in Japanese. I may well be wrong, but yeah, pearl. I don't know why, I just love that word. Well, thank you very much for watching this video today. I think it might be time for someone to have lunch. Delilah! She's eating a damboru, sorry about that. Thank you very, very much for watching this video today. Please comment below. I would love to know your thoughts as always. And until next time, sayonara. Cuckoo. Yeah. Hello. You have to say bye-bye.